Took some overtime to get the time right. Had to lose a little mind to get my mind right. Finally realized, but in hindsight, you wanted the limelight. Me priority never once. You kept close but never really wasn't. I accept your lack of focus, agree with all your choices. Needed you to need me, needed you to see me. Until I found the right direction, I think my reflection would agree. Had to find a me in me.
The Short Sport by K. David Jordan.
Give you. I'm gonna give.
Give it a shot, we give it.
That's
off the phone. Jehovah, baby. Let's go.
Stepping on the gas, no brake light. I got a big dream and I aim high. Take a risk every time I play dice. I shake 'em up and it's snake eyes. I'm the same guy on the same grind. Busy printing money, watch the paint dry. My intuition told me through the grapevine that I'ma get rich and I ain't lying. Yeah.
I'm gonna get you what you need. God will supply all everything. Oh, rich.
It's bringing me joy. It's no blessing that you saving me. Oh, it's bringing me joy.
It's groovy, baby. We're rolling down the Golden Coast in the land of sun where the vibes boast. From the Bay to LA, every street, every turn we play. Cruising in the city of stars, where our dreams are made of. In the glow of the sunset we blaze, as our memory of our life cascade. With the gospel in our souls, and the love of Jesus Christ in our hearts. On the coastal roads we expose our lives as a work of art. Hey, see the waves crash here, they say you gon' song. In the West Coast paradise, we can't go wrong. With the palm trees in the clear blue sky, our spirits ride the breeze, man, we flying high. Yes, we flying high.
Give you what
You don't have to worry about it.
give you what
You just cruise to have a good time.
give you what
Cause it's supply all your needs according to His glory. Yeah.
give you what
What you need, what you need, what you need.
give you what
All
Maybe
right,
younger.
So let's go ahead and get to it. Thank you to everybody for listening.
So
We're
you
gonna
have
do
no
this thing
problem with the
popping off.
children that were cursing out Ruby
All right,
Bridges?
so
Was
I wanna
there as
play
the
the
only
video.
black
Let's
girl,
play the video.
and there was a
Rewind
whole
it.
crew. It's
Play
like
the video. Let's get into it. Let's get
12
into
of
the
us,
conversation.
12 of us.
This has been a big issue, the
And
big
so I
conversation
was
in the
called an
black
N-word right
community,
there while I was there.
black media,
And
whatever you wanna
I was
call
also
it, you know what
bullied
I'm
while I
saying?
was
Whatever you
there
wanna call it.
because
It's
I
been a
was
big
told that you're
situation,
only here
a big
because you're black.
situation
You
here.
can't really dance.
And,
You're just here because you're
we're gonna
black, so don't
cover
get
it.
any ideas. So that's why I'm being told by the
So-
other children. Does that suffice as racist to you, or would you want to call it something else? Is that just kids being mean?
The kids. So let me ask you a question. As a child, do you never said anything derogatory? Agree with it, but at 89, you're probably 8, 9 years of age.
So I want you guys to check out this interview. This is
Maybe
this is
younger.
Kind of fascinating. Rewind it one more time. Play it back one more time.
So you have no
Everybody can see it
problem with the
again.
children that were cursing out Ruby Bridges? Was there as the only black girl.
Okay.
And there was
All right,
a
here we go.
whole crew. It's like 12 of us. And so I was called an N-word right there while I was there. And I was also bullied while I was there because I was told that you're only here because you're black. You can't really dance. You're just here because you're black, so don't get any ideas. So that's what I'm being told by the other children. Does that suffice as racist to you, or would you want to call it something else? Is that just kids being mean?
The kids. So let me ask you a question. As a child, do you never said anything derogatory? You was just this model citizen as a child? I mean, children.
But she had
No,
to
we're
take a
talking
break.
children, not functioning adults. Now, if you told me adults,
Said I had to take a
parents were
break.
telling you this, or the execs or people that are in charge of Disney are telling you this, I could agree with it. But at 89, you're probably 8, 9 years of age. Maybe younger.
So you have no problem with the children that were cursing out Ruby Bridges? Was there as the only black girl.
All right.
Okay.
So
And there was a whole crew.
I want
It's
to show
like
you guys initially what was happening and what was being discussed and what this is based on. I'll play it again a little bit later again. All right. So welcome. I thank everybody for coming and chilling with me. I thank everybody for taking the time to come out and as we talk about this discussion on race and different situations. Now, I don't know if you guys know, Shannon Sharpe had a Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay. He had a Club Shay Shay session. A Club Shay 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 Shay. I guess it's hard to say that 3 times in a row. He had a Club Shay Shay session with Amanda Seals, and it released, I think, Monday? I think it released Monday or Tuesday. Monday. I think it came out Monday. And everybody's been talking about it, and it was an interesting conversation. And we're going to get what I think the conversation really was about and why this has made the news and everything else hasn't made the news yet. But the cool thing about this conversation was they got into it with race. And the clip that I just played you, Amanda Seals is telling her situation and what happened with her as a youth in Disney and how she experienced racism. And, you know, she brought all that up. Now, let me say this. I've only watched the clips. I'm not a huge Amanda Seals fan. At all, 0%. I've never... she's like the Tia Mallory kind of type to me. Like, they're very pretty. And we always think because a person is beautiful that they have a beautiful inside, a beautiful spirit and soul inside until they start talking. And then you realize, they might not be as beautiful on the inside as they are on the outside, right? And I was kind of, not that I have anything against her. I've never met her or anything like that. I don't have anything against her. Nothing against her. It's just I always be like, she's pretty. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady, but when she talks sometimes, especially in interviews outside of acting, it's like, I don't get a good person. I don't get a good energy from her. You know what I'm saying? And it might be why she's single. But you just don't get a good energy from her, you know? And then too, we have some political differences too. But I think she's pro-black and she's went through a whole lot of things and things like that. And then on the opposite side of that, we have Shannon Sharpe, my Savannah State alum, SSU great NFL Hall of Famer, Mr. Shay Shay. That's really kind of sparked this whole, his big interview with Cat Williams kind of sparked this whole thing that's going on really in black culture, especially hip hop culture. Now everybody's dissing each other. Everything. A lot of this is going back to the Cat Williams conversation and situation, right? There's a lot of this going to Cat Williams. And make sure you guys, I want to first say thank you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit those like buttons. Make sure you subscribe. We got to get the subscribers up on YouTube. The subscribers on YouTube is crazy. Y'all need this subscription on YouTube. Y'all need to pick it up, son. And X, thank y'all so much. X is always with me. X is always right with me. Thank y'all so much, X, for riding with me. But let's get into it. So Shannon said something, and you guys can leave comments, give a like, thumbs up, whatever. If you disagree, let me know. Put it in the comment section. If you want to come on, I might even let you come on and debate me on it. But I was listening to the conversation, and it drives me to this. It drives me to this. Like, and I've been seeing it, man. I have been seeing such negativity. I mean, they been calling Shannon uneducated. He's not smart enough to have an interview with Seals, Amanda Seals. You know, I've been seeing all this, and it's funny because this is Shannon Sharpe. Like, now all of a sudden he's now all of a sudden he's the sellout. He's he done got Stephen A. Smith. Now he's the company man. All these things I'm hearing, and you're seeing on X, X. I'm seeing all these conversations. Black. He's not pro black anymore. All this stuff, right? He's for the man, right? Y'all like, come on, y'all. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Let's break it down. Now, y'all know I'm not a huge Amanda Seals fan. And Shannon Sharpe, I went to the same college, Savannah State University. I played football there, and I've heard about Shannon Sharpe for, oh my God. That's all you, if you play football at Savannah State University, that's all you hear is Shannon Sharpe. Like, you hear Shannon Sharpe, he is folk legend at Savannah State. He's a legend at Savannah State. So being a person that played football at Savannah State, going to university, I've heard about Shannon Sharpe. I've had the chance to meet him, I think twice. I think I shook his hand a couple of times. He probably, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, right? And he has become super duper duper popular. Super duper popular in the spirit of media, of course, Hall of Fame career, great person, had one of the biggest broadcasts probably ever with the Cat Williams broadcast. One of the biggest social media broadcasts probably ever. All those things, very full of accolades. Amanda Seals also has a lot of accolades too, right? A very accomplished actress. You know, she's a social activist. She's a very accomplished also. So I don't want to degrade either one. So I'm coming straight from the middle. It ain't a thing. I'm shooting straight down the middle, right? I don't really have a horse in the fight other than my opinion, right? And this is what this conversation really is about. And then we start talking about racism, and why I feel like this is a very important conversation about racism that we need to have. And why both sides probably are right. I'm going to start by saying this. Amanda Seals is right to feel how she feels. Shannon Sharpe is right to feel how he feels, right? And you guys are right to take a side. You guys are right to pick a side and be like, blah, 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 blah. But that ain't what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pick a side. I'm going to let you make your own decision on who was right and wrong. I'm just going to point out some things that I saw that I thought was very interesting, right? And then once you listen to how I break this thing down, you may change your perception or you may keep your changed perception. It may actually solidify how you think about the situation. What you think both sides is there. But let's talk about it. So Shannon Sharpe, once Amanda Seals tells her story about Disney, you gotta understand, Disney and what Disney is about and what her experience at Disney, she gets some pushback from Shannon Sharpe saying, hey, you were young. You was probably under a teenager. You were a child and you were dealing with children. Did any of the staff or anybody else say anything, racist to you and stuff like that in that situation? And she goes, no. And she kind of goes like, well, what that got to do with anything? I'm telling you, these people were racist. They called me the N word. Da 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 da. And Shannon was like, okay, they're young, they're kids, right? And and people were saying, oh, he dismissed her feelings of racism, and he did, kinda. But you have to understand this, and I tell people, and I've had this conversation with somebody earlier today. I don't think Amanda Seals is from the South. As a matter of fact, I think she said she's been in New York since 12, right? Since 12, she lived in New York, and then she lived in Cali. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's from the South. I don't think she's from Georgia, the South or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's from the Deep South like Shannon is. And I know she ain't from the Deep South when Shannon was coming up in the Deep South. Shannon said they was using outhouses. Lord Jesus, they ain't even have bathrooms in their house. Lord, that's a long time ago. You know, you going outside. He said he take a shower till you got to college. Like, God almighty, y'all didn't have running water. You know what I'm saying? And it's not funny, but that's the way he grew up, right? And the crazy thing is, people's like, oh man, that's such a long time ago. And I'm like, nah,
Like if you grew up in a small rural South, small rural Southern cities and areas, that's more frequent than you think, right? And I tell people all the time, right? I know black people all across the country, all across the world that have experienced racism. And we can't demean anyone's experience with racism. But me being a product from the South, right, and living in the South and living in a small town South, and then traveling abroad and living in different areas and seeing different things in the country, I must admit, it's a different racism down here in the South. The racism down here is a little bit different. It's a little different than what you experience, even up if you get to Baltimore and Virginia, down here in Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee. It's a little different. Racism a little bit different down here. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type situation down this way. It's a little different. Y'all gotta remember. These folks out here fought for slavery. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they said up there, it's like, oh, slavery's a bad. They like went to war and seceded from the Union to keep slaves, right? To keep slavery going. So it's a little bit different. I tell people all the time, New York, Philly, Detroit, they have their own type of racism, right? It's racism up there too. It's not but down south, when we was dealing with Jim Crow and those things, I'm just old enough to catch the end of it, right? The end of it. And still see some of it now. Down south, it's a different racism down here. When you had to deal with Jim Crow and they had different water fountains and different bathrooms with literally black and white on there, and if you was caught in a different one, you was going to jail, you was getting beat down, or you might get hung. It's a little bit different down here than it is out there. Right? There's a reason why the Underground Railroad was trying to go north. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hear nobody on the Underground Railroad say, I'm going to Florida. No. I ain't hear nobody say, we're going down to Georgia to get away from slavery. No, they was going north, right? They was going up north. And I'm not saying, listen, racism is everywhere. Everywhere. Bigotry. Everywhere. Let me say it again, because some idiots will be like, well, he said that we don't experience racism. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying racism is everywhere. It's just different in different regions that you're in. It's different. When I went up north and the East Coast, it still was racism, but it wasn't as in your face. Right? It wasn't as, all right, we blatant with it. You down south, it's blatant. It's blatant. And a lot of you guys, and I have to say this to my younger kids. I ain't that old, but to my younger generation below me, y'all really ain't experienced that like we experienced it. Y'all biggest racism now is if you can do OnlyFans or not, and people get mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get pulled over and get roasted profile because the racism is a little bit different now. Like, y'all get mad because y'all broke the law and the police pull you over and say, hey, you broke the law. Y'all be like, oh, they being racist. No. We're talking about people that got pulled over just for being black. Got beat just because he looked at a white woman. All right? Get caught, literally just being black. All right? Get hung. Kill the whole family and everybody. Don't nobody know what happened. Well, we all know what happened. This is the racism that Shannon Sharpe grew up in. How you know, King? Because I grew up in it. So it's a little different. It's a little different in these small rural towns where racism is seen a little bit different. Now I'm gonna get to, and it seems like I'm taking enough for Shannon. Now I got some issues with Shannon too, and I know what Shannon was doing. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gotta hold on to get there. Ride with me on this conversation. Ride with me. Just sit there and ride with me. Tell somebody else coming to this conversation. And if you got a comment, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for joining and having this conversation about race. Now, Amanda Seale said she's displayed racism as a child growing up in Disney, and they were being racist towards her in situations like that. And I'm pretty sure she did display it. I'm pretty sure she went through it. Definitely. I experienced racism. I told you on one of my last videos. I experienced racism myself. My name is King David Jordan. That's my real name. My mother named me King, right? And this is in the 70s or 80s, 70s, right? She named me King. The first school I went to, the white teacher looked at me and was like, King. No, we're not calling you that. We're gonna call you Dave. I'm like, well, that ain't my name. What she asked all of the kids, what y'all want to be called? She got to be King. No, we're gonna call you David. You're not. I've had that racism happen from a child, right? And this is gonna get to my point and what I think Shannon was trying to say. But he did a horrible job of saying it, expressing it, right? I dealt with that. But this is the thing. In the South, racism, especially in the small rural South, it ain't like you just can get away from it. Right? It ain't like I could just get away from it. Like that teacher that was racist to me at 8, 9, 10, guess what? I still had to deal with her because she was in the South. I would see her in the city. I would see her where I see her running around in town. I would see her at the store and see her different places. It ain't like I could just run away from it. Right? It ain't the city ain't big where I could just go, oh, I ain't got to deal with them no more. I could just go to the, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that. When you're in small rural cities and you see people being racist, you still have to interact with them. You may see them at the bank. You may see them at the grocery store. You may see them all over. You are going to see them, especially in smaller rural cities, you're going to be interacting. And some of y'all think racism is over and like this stuff is crazy. No. This stuff still happens in Georgia today. You could listen, man. Drive down about 30 minutes from down to Cayuga, Georgia. They still call you colored boy. I'll never forget. I stopped to get some gas. Oh, hey, y'all colors need something? I'm like, colors, man. What are we like? This ain't the 70s, ain't the 60s, ain't 50s. They still. That's today. That ain't next week. That ain't last year. That ain't 10, 20 years ago. Go down there today. But you still had to interact and you still had to live with people that did racist things to you. And I think that's what Shannon was trying to say was, hey, that happened when you was 8, 9, 10. You almost 40 now. Or you 40 plus now. You still holding that grudge? And she's allowed to. She's literally allowed to be like, hey, I haven't heard, I have trauma. This is something, I haven't let it go yet. But you could just tell she didn't live down south, because down south, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had a kid in high school call me a nigga, and just to be real, the N-word. Oh, hold on. I had a kid I played baseball with that called me the N-word. Guess what? He has one of the most popular businesses in town right now. And you know what? He said, what's okay with it? He got black Patreons, white Patreons, Hispanic Patreon. Everyone patronizes his business. And I know for a fact we got into a fisticuff because he called me an N-word. So it's a little different when you actually live in rural areas where racism is prevalent. You can do one or two things. You can develop thick skin, or you can try to isolate. But you never really can isolate. You never really can get away from it. I remember when the lady, I was, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7. I remember to this day her being racist towards me. I remember when we were out and the guy was racist towards my father. I never forget that. But at the same time, y'all gonna think I'm crazy when I say this. At the same time, there's certain people that I know said racist stuff when I was coming up that I've done business with. Because I see the bigger picture. Matter of fact, Hush King. I can't say that. I'm about to get in trouble. I can say this. There's certain people now that do things in the community that are good things that I know said racist stuff coming up when we was in school, when we was younger. So Shannon's coming from a perspective of, Man, we had to deal with that when we was young. We might have had schoolmates and people that we grew up with that might have said the N-word. I had a basketball player I was coaching a couple of years ago, year before last. And his father is he said the N-word to one of the kids. He was angry, called him, and you know what I'm saying? His father came to us, was very apologetic, wrote a nice donation check to the to the basketball. Hilarious. Probably wrote a nice check to the basketball boots club. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, hey man, it's definitely saying something racist. Yeah, the position I ain't gonna say what position he is, but hey, he wrote a nice little check to the boots club. Hey man, my son said, and we had a talk with him that hey, this is not acceptable, right? Very public figure. And I get what Shannon was saying. Shannon was saying, hey man, those were kids. Do we throw them away because they say something racist at a young age? But at the same time, the way that you said it, Shannon, was dismissive of Amanda's feelings. He could have worded the question different. Do you think that, you could forgive them because they were children and now they're older? If you saw them again, would you still hold that grudge or something like that? He could have worded it in a way where it didn't seem as like he was marginalizing or minimalizing her experience. But once again, could be because of the way Shannon was raised. Because you gotta remember, in the South, you had to still work with Mr. Charlie. And you knew Mr. Charlie was racist. You still had to work with Mr. Charlie. You still had to work with Sister Mary. And you knew she would call you a N-word. Shoot, we still don't have all our banks that we need now. That's why it's important to get our own, right? But you used to have to work with certain people. Like you used to have to go to the bank and bank with cats and do business with people that you knew were racist. You didn't have a choice. And I think people don't think about that sometimes. Because we go strictly to, and then when we always say we try to have our own, we try to get our own, we try to develop our own, we try to do this, do that. We always kind of, well, first of all, we shun those businesses a lot of times that we develop at our own and try to say they hood, they ghetto, they're not this, not that, not that. But when we try to, until we develop our own and do whatever, you know what I'm saying? And how many times do you have a black business? If we're going to talk about black, let's keep it real. Let's keep it 110%. How many times are you going to have a black business? And I appreciate everybody for watching. How many times have you had a black business and we don't support because they outpriced? Black store, then comes Kroger. Then comes Walmart. Right? How many times does that happen? How many? How many times have we say, oh, no, oh man. Now, I do, let me say something. Y'all gonna get mad at me. I know. I don't support businesses just because they're a black business. I support good black business. I support black businesses that do good business. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some black, because again, I'll be like, well, I support black business. I'm like, I support business that does good business. If it's a black business, good. If it's black, I support black businesses that do good business. Just like I support white businesses that do good business. Hispanic businesses that are good. Chinese businesses. Asian. Right? And another thing we've done in our community, now this is a sidebar, this is way left. Another thing we've done in our community is we teach separation, right? We teach separation. I get it, right? Because we had some things that were better when we were separated. We teach separation, but when it comes to business, if you do the research on Black Wall Street, the cool thing, I've been in business since 1983. I know exactly what you're saying. Hey, real talk. Thank you, Miss Bailey. Thank you. Real talk. We can't. we want to say, hey, we support black, support black. But the smart thing is, hey, if you're really talking about growing and maximizing finances, we have to be smarter to say, hey, man, we gotta make some other connections with other people. Y'all know why they bombed? Y'all know why Black Wall Street? I was doing research on Black Wall Street, right? And if I'm wrong, y'all can correct me, but I think I'm right on this. When I was doing research on Black Wall Street, the issue with Black Wall Street was the reason they was mad was because everybody else was going through recession and Black Wall Street was booming. The reason Black Wall Street was booming because Black Wall Street had outside import. I want to say it was from France. They had imports coming in from other countries that allowed them to continue to boom and profit within themselves. They were importing. They had an import and export going out. And that's how I look at people. They be like, well, it's just black on black on black. I'm like, whoa. I need to have some import and export. Like, that's why I kind of got mad at Trump a little bit about him doing the tariff on China. I'm like, yo, a lot of us we get our product and that are lower pricing than things that we can push around from China, right? I don't think China should use our intellectual property and things that are ours and reproduce that. I think that's wrong. I do think they have to do that. But if it's a product that we develop, or a product for our own, and we're doing it ODM or OEM, right? And we're bringing it in, I don't need to have to pay an extra tax on product. You know what I'm saying? Now the country is saying, hey, we need to pay extra tax. The China pays that tax. This is can you teach? My son has a teacher business. You teach him music. Christian. Oh, Christian, that's my dude. DJ was DJ twice. Two twice. I forgot Christian. He got a DJ. That's my guy. Christian's a fantastic kid. Fantastic young man. And he has a t-shirt. I didn't know he had a t-shirt business. I gotta see what it's up with his t-shirt business. Tell him to holler at me. But at the end of the day, these situations that happen, right? Y'all gotta understand it's different now here. And Miss Carolyn, you guys are from Midwest, if I'm not mistaken. It's different from the South. It's slower. It's a little bit, you see people more often. It's not as big. It's not as, it's a little slower down here. So you're not as spread out. It's just, that's how it is in the South. Right? She said she's from Chicago. So so right. Am I right? Like, it's way slower in Georgia, especially the area that you're in, rural Georgia that you're in, is way slower, right? So that's what I'm saying. Shannon's from a smaller area, is way slower, and he grew up not having much, and they work for Mr. Charlie. And anytime you grow up like that, you develop a little bit of a tough skin when it comes to certain things. Not that you agree with it, not that you think it's right. It's just that, hey, in order for us to survive, we got to go ahead and deal with this. We have to go ahead and deal with this. Not that it's right, not that you even stand for it. It's just that, hey, we just know in order for us to be successful and us to put food on our table, we got to deal with this. It's crazy because a lot of people be like, hey, I got to sell drugs to feed my family. But then if you say, hey, man, I had to, kind of just take it a little bit from the white man to get what I need to get, y'all be like, oh, he a bump. You know what I'm saying? But if I gotta go to sell drugs to kill people, I gotta put food on my table. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say. But Shannon, now y'all know I've been pro Shannon on this, but I gotta hit Shannon where it hurts too. But Shannon, we ain't gonna act like you did kind of Stephen A. Smith her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Shay, yeah, I hate it. That's my love. That's my T5 brother. I hate to do this, but I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it honest. But when she said Disney, Shannon was like, I gotta. Y'all know the underlying thing with Disney and Shannon Sharpe. Shannon works for Disney. Disney cut that check. Now, Cub Shay money is nice, but that Disney money allows. I guarantee the Disney money allows funding the Club Shay. Without a doubt, that Disney check is real nice. That setup he got on Disney that's top notch. He getting a bag for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. That's that top notch check. And you're not just gonna talk about The company that's put food on my table, like I said. Different generation, different people. You know? You're not just gonna talk about this. That's why Shannon said, well, if it wasn't the people, Shannon said, if it wasn't the people if it wasn't the people, the staff at Disney, you can't, it's the kids, Shannon, we know who cut the check. And that's why people are looking kind of sideways at you, Shannon. It ain't because of necessarily that. They're saying, well, wait a minute. Did you take up for Disney because they cut your check? I told you I'm fair, y'all. I'm going to shoot it down the middle. We don't see this so many times. How many times we don't see Stephen A. have to kind of back off a little bit of something that how he really feel because he knew that was going to mess up the check. Stephen A. Smith is known to say, stay away from the weed, man. But Stephen A. also be like, I'm staying away from the topics that's going to catch me my check. He's gonna get that topic that's like, I mean, he's starting to get a little bit more bolder now because, he's that guy. But, certain things don't act like there were times we looked at Stephen A. with the side eye like, Stephen A., what you talking about? Like, right? Why you backing up right now, Stephen A.? Why you backing up? It's not like we had that happen with Stephen A. before. Man, I mean, like, why do we diss people for looking at their situation and doing what's best for their situation? Like I said, we do it. We absolve the drug dealer to say, hey, man, he putting food on the table. He out there hustling to get money. We overlook, we overlook certain activities in our community because it's about, hey, they getting money. But then we get mad at the guys for doing that and say, hey, man, I might want to look this. Let's not be hypocrites. Let's not be hypocrites now. We can't in one voice sit there and say, hey, and then the other voice be like, oh, he a sellout. Why we never call, let me ask you this. Why we never call drug dealers in our community sellout? Why we never call people that brings trash in our community? Why we never call them sellout? Right? Like, I've never heard people say, hey, man, guys responsible for bringing cocaine to New York were sellouts. Y'all called him the king of New York. Very seldom. I was like, when is the king of New York going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a politician? That was the street kingpin. Oh, we talking real. I'm like Beat Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work, hallelujah. We resolved them. It's all good. But for brother go, you know what, man? I ain't really gonna talk about this right now because hey, that's gonna make us my bad. Oh, they the worst thing. They sell out. They cool. They everything else. That make sense to you? No. Don't make sense. So do I think Shannon jumped on that bag do I think Shannon jumped on the bandwagon to save the bag? They be like, hey, listen, I ain't saying nothing. You can talk about everything else, but you finna talk about this. Yeah, hey, you can talk about Issa, you can talk about all that. We're gonna get to Issa in a second. You can talk about Issa, you can talk about whatever, everything, but hey, you talk about this, you talk about my chick. Talk about the company I work for. And he's allowed to have pride for the company he works for. He's allowed to say, hey, and he was quick to say, hey, that was back then, you was 10, that was a long time ago. Maybe things have changed. Have you talked to Shannon's like, have you talked to the star recently? They said something racist to you recently. Did the same person call you N-word? Did they call you N-word today in 2024? It says like, hey, but Disney's changed. They came out with Mulan. They came out with The Princess and the Frog. This is change. They more acceptable. You know what I'm saying? That's what Shannon was trying to say. This is change. Yeah. That bag was, hey, Shannon saw the bag. I'm not mad at Shannon. He saw the bag. Do you lose that? And the bigger question is, do we lose those, because people are quick to say, hey man, God got you. God got you. They don't even believe in God. Atheists. Atheists. They don't even go to church. You know what I'm saying? They be like, God got you. Trust God. Do it yourself. And you like, well, where'd the money come from? What black bank can I get a loan from? Yeah, let's keep it funky. Listen, I got $1 million situation right now, right? I got a situation that's gonna probably profit multi, and I'm looking for the right people. The people that's coming back with me. The finance companies are all white or Jewish owned. I got one that calls me every day, 2-3 times a day, trying to get the deal. I've looked and tried to find black banks and black situations that could loan me the money. They're very far in between. Very far in between. And I think we don't talk about it in finance enough, right? We don't talk about, because we're quick to throw people and say, oh, you know, being black, you know, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm trying to do this. Like, I'm trying to build a black community, or I'm trying to build a black network, or I'm trying to buy the block, or I'm trying to fix up, blah, 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 right? I need this, this, this. First of all, it be your family too. And we'll talk about that another time. But at the end of the day, you have these situations cut up, and you look at it and say, okay, well, who is there to help? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Normally, the first people that come to you, especially if they see that they can make money, normally they're not black. They're normally either white or Jewish. That's just a spade. I mean, who y'all want Shannon to go work for? Roland Martin? I love Roland, but hey, I don't think he can get the budget that ESPN and Disney can give. Give me the black media company that Shannon Sharpe can go work for, where he's gonna make what he makes at Disney. I'll wait. I be telling people, King, you're doing tech. Go to. I be like, well, give me the company that's gonna be able to cut the check. The Apple will cut me, or that Samsung will cut me, or that give me the company. Well, you just take a pay cut. But then y'all said that rapping don't make business, don't make sense. We continuously want people to cut their bag out, and then we continuously cutting them out. Look at all the Shannon Sharpe made this statement, and you got people saying that this brother is not educated enough to have the conversation with the Amanda Seals. With the Amanda Seals. Y'all like he was talking to Candace Owens. Talking to Amanda Seals. Y'all said this man was not educated. Y'all said this man is not educated or had enough. Now this man put on one of the biggest interview podcasts in podcast history. And y'all said he don't have the skill or the wherewithal to provide a podcast or to have this podcast or have this situation. And y'all want him to risk the bag for you save Negroes. That don't even make sense to me. So do I think Shannon was thinking about the bag when she bought on Disney and ABC? You saw Shannon sitting back and saying, don't you think? Shannon said, don't you think? Shannon set up. Shannon said, "Don't you think those are just children?" That was a long time ago. That was Disney a long time ago. She said Disney, and they was being racist to me at Disney. He's like, well, it wasn't the staff. It wasn't the company. I ain't mad at Shannon for thinking about his bag. Like I tell people all the time, listen, I cannot care. Listen, if you're not willing to supply my livelihood, don't talk to me about my livelihood. If you got an option, if you gonna tell me what it, oh, you should work for them. All right, cool. Well, what you got on? What you got there for? Is the bag comparable? Can I still live off that? Can my family still be thing? Can I move the way I want to move? Can I do give me an option to give me a replacement? She talking about teaching the kids. I teach the kids. I was telling some of my kids the other day. I said, listen, man, you guys are worried about other people talking about your business. And they don't have no business for themselves. They have no business for themselves. If you get out there, I was telling, listen, I told this lady, I said, yo, man, she talking about, she was out, her husband got on tour for being out late in the street. And I told her, I said, and she said her husband kind of went off. He's kind of, he's kind of mean for going out in the street. And I said, okay. I said, well, what does he do? She's like, he pays all my bills. He, you know what I'm saying? He take care of me, blah, 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 right? And I said, okay, well, what did your girlfriend tell you to come home? She's like, nah. I said, well, you might need to find some new friends. A girlfriend was there. A girl was like, oh, well, I said, hey, because if he kick you out, you got to wait on. She can come stay with me. I said, well, wait a minute. Wait. So you got to pay her bills, her phone bills, all her food, everything, blah, 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 that this dude doing? Nah, she's like, well, nah, like, yeah, you need to take her go home to her man. Like, if you don't have a replacement, if you're not in that person's shoes, I agree. I agree. Character puts yourselves in a situation where there's certain things that's just like, hey, man, yeah, I can't do that. My character won't allow me to do it. I got to stand on principle. I got to stand on principle and character, right? And then there are other things. There are other things you're like, yeah, this ain't one of them times. You know what I'm saying? There's sometimes you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna stand on principle and character. This is important. I can't let this slide. I'm willing to lose what I need to lose. And you gotta weigh those options and weigh which is the best for you and your family. Anybody that says anything different is disingenuous. Because they're not gonna do that. I don't care how, listen, I don't care. It's very seldom that you have a Colin Kaepernick. That's why the black community uplifts them so much. Because it's very seldom that somebody's going to say, hey, man, I'm going to do this. And I don't even know if Colin Kaepernick counted the cost to make the decisions that he made. I don't think he knew. Hey, I don't think he thought that he would be out the league and never get another chance to play. But that's why we big up him so much. Because he's like, okay, cool. That man sacrificed whatever. And people gave to him, but he still ain't got the check that he would have got if he would have got another NFL contract. He got legacy that will be forever, but not everybody's willing to make that. Not everybody's built like that. And that's okay. That's okay. Some of you guys that's listening now are at jobs that you don't want to be at. But you got to pay your bills. You got responsibilities. You got kids. Some of y'all sneaking listening to me right now. Know you're supposed to be at work and do your thing. You're like, man, I'm ready to go. And I appreciate you. Man, what is it? They say it's over 80% of people are in jobs that they're not happy with. But they understand the bills. They understand they got responsibilities, bills, and they got to take care of their family. So without a doubt, I thought Shannon Sharpe thought about Disney and said, whoa, I don't think Disney gonna. I can't do that, said Shaw. Hey. That was hilarious to me though. When she started saying, when Disney Shannon Sharpe quit, like, hey, that wasn't the staff. That wasn't actually, you didn't differentiate between Disney and the people that work for Disney. The kids. It was the babies. It was the babies that work for you. Gotta differentiate between the babies. Babies say anything. But if it was the company or if it was the people there, then yeah. But now it was the kids and the babies. Babies. And you get over the babies. Get over the Now, I better had a great comeback when she brought up the kids that went into the school and the cigarette. That's a whole, but come on now. That's a whole different, that's a different situation. You talking about first going to segregation and, making changes where the norm was that. Once again, you ain't living deep south, man. You don't know about it. You just talking about something. Because we gotta have that conversation too. Like some of y'all be talking about racism and stuff like that, and we be like, man, you ain't seen it unless you seen it. We just had a conversation last week about a mural. Let me see if I can find y'all the picture. That's still up. I'm gonna find y'all the picture because y'all honestly, like I think people honestly don't understand what it's like to be, because some of y'all hadn't lived down south. Some of you have. Those that live down south will be like, Miss What's her name, and say, hey, he ain't lying. It's a difference. It's a difference. Some of y'all ain't been down south. And it's obvious. So y'all talking bad cash like, oh, this, that, the other. And you be like, man, listen. I can tell you they live down. I tell you they live down here. They really was hanging cats. They was not playing with you. They really, like, when you come and you literally like we had, when you have somebody burn a cross on your yard and you see that in your life, it's different. It's different. It's different. It's different. It's different. It's not the same. We want to put everything as like it's equal. Everything is equal, and it's not. There are similarities, but it's different. Now, I do think Amanda Seals, and I'm getting ready to get out of here. I think she's a little bit disingenuous also, though, because I think he did kind of catch her a little bit. Because I don't know if it was earlier, because y'all know, 3.5 from Amanda Seals, Cat Williams I'm interested in. I'm interested to hear your story. I like it said 3 hours of Monique. That was tough for me too. That was a long time. I got stuff to do. I have my own product to put out. But 3 hours on Amanda Seals. That's tough. But she did say something that she kind of contradicted. And that had to deal with Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel Acho situation kind of was a little bit contradictory. Because she got on Acho for saying, hey, do we have that video where she said about Emmanuel Acho, when Emmanuel Acho talked about Angel Reese? And she threw at Angel Reese. She said, Angel Reese is a child, right? And if I was Shannon, I would have been like, that's what I was trying to tell you with the other kid. You can't in one instance say, hey, we have to be sensitive because these are children. And then in the other instance, when Shannon says, hey man, these are children, you can't be like, oh man, well, I was a child too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta that's Shannon's trying to give her balance. You can't, I tell my people all the time, I said, yo, we can't act like our oppressor. We can't act the same as our oppressor and then try to be righteous. Right? In order to, righteousness is not doing two wrongs. It's not like people try to do energy, two negatives makes a positive. Majority of the time that doesn't work. Somebody got to look at themselves and say, hey man, somebody got to do the right thing. Somebody gotta be all right. We gotta do the right thing. I think in that instance there, Amanda Seals kind of showed, you know, kind of what I feel like. She's a beautiful woman, but maybe not the best person. I see why people get. You kind of can understand why people get bad energy from Amanda Seals. Not that she's a bad person. I don't know her personally. I would love to meet her. I don't know if we have a conversation. Because we're both dominants. You know what I'm saying? We both got masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if we have a conversation. We probably wouldn't click. Because I don't do like a lot of BS. So we probably would click. Probably wouldn't gel that well. And that's fine. She go her way, I go mine. So I just but in that instance, and me being fair, and I want to be, and I'm trying to be totally fair and understand the situation. In that instance, I feel like she's just a little bit hypocritical. When Shannon brought up, hey man, those are kids. You just said You just said, hey, Acho could get on age of Reese because she's a child. She's a young lady. She's not. She was older than you. She's older than the age that you were talking about. You talk about 8, 9, 10. Amanda Reese is 18. She's a grown woman. 18, 19, 20. She's an adult. So I think in that instance, she kind of looked kind of hypocritical. But I do agree with her. And for the most part, I agree with what she said, where that's her trauma and that's what she has to deal with. That's what she has to deal with. That's a story she's sticking to. When do you get healed from trauma, though? Like, do you always walk around? And do I have to be empathetic towards you? I guess we do. We do. We need to be empathetic to everybody. I'm working this out. How many hosts y'all know working out live on the air? I'm working it out live. I guess you do have to be empathetic. But dog, man, that happened when you was 10. If I held a grudge on the racism I saw as a young child, man, I wouldn't like any white people. I actually forgave the dude that called me an N-word. Saw him the other day. Spoke. How you doing? You all right? I'm good, man. It's good to see. He told me it's good to see me. It shot me. I was like, the nigga? My response was, he said it was good. Me? Hey, when he called, hey, it was funny because it was funny. We were playing baseball, right? And you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I did or I did something. And he went, and man, that he said it with the high pitch. That's when you know. That's when you know somebody really racist. When they say the nigga with the high pitch, it ain't just like nigga. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, when you nigga, when he said that, we dropped the gloves. We was going there. I think I got in trouble for that. That's how racist listen, the coach literally my dad had to go out there and talk. The coach literally was like, yo, I was in trouble. Sent me home. It wasn't until my pops went out there and said, hey man, that boy called my he said, man, he called, and the crazy thing is this. I'm gonna let y'all know what's funny about this. I grew up with that guy. I'm talking about we played from rec ball all the way to high school graduation. Every year I grew up with that dude. I'm talking about we played on teams together from kids, yay high. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, y'all, it's an expectation or saying that somebody's being ignorant or somebody doesn't have certain when you're not being empathetic of their situation, how they was raised in their situation. Like you can't. I tell my people all the time, we're not a monolith. Like anytime we act monolithic, right? Unless it's for a common good. Like you have people that don't listen to other people. They refuse to listen to other body outside of the way they think. I've always been taught from every professor in college that's ignorant. If you go to a school or a professor at school, they want you to have, and y'all have any type of discourse in college and academia, they want to hear different ideas and they want to hear you discourse logically and educate. They want to make sure that your logic and you have proper facts and situations to present your side, your opinion, and they want to hear it. If you go to any type of academia, Matter of fact, my best friend, he just congratulations to my friend, just became a bishop. He was talking about they were going and the professor, how they used to do at his at the university he was studying, how the professor, their final was his dissertation was he had to go and he had to present a point, and she would challenge him on the point that he presented out of scripture, right? So his thing was I'm trying to remember what the point that he made. Let's just say just using one of the things we haven't discussed now. Jesus is God. Why Jesus is God, or why Jesus isn't God. So they would have to go against the professor to present the kind of argument on why they're saying that Jesus is God. But for some reason in our community, we're like, we don't want to hear the difference in the ideas. We shut it off. Oh, they want to hear, I'm da 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 da. And you look at it like, wait a minute. How you know somebody doesn't have a better idea than you? How you know you can't learn from a situation in which they're speaking from? Or circumstances where you didn't see it that way? Like some of y'all have never been down south and dealt with Southern racism on a daily basis. Like living in it. Right? Some of y'all have never been. And if you do it, you understand that it's like when I moved to a larger city, it was a culture shock. It's like, oh snap. My perspective was totally wrong. This is an interesting dynamic, guys. It's an interesting dynamic. I think it's a very fascinating situation. I think both sides had their very valid points. I can see Shannon from his situation being an older African American man growing up in deep rural South. I can see the difference in the situation between Amanda Seals being a younger, beautiful African American sister that has been in um, that I think she said she grew up basically in New York, but majority of her life, and seeing the difference and how that it's a culture shock, right? But you got to be willing to have that conversation and say, okay, let me hear. I would have loved for her to ask Shannon why he thought like that. What's your rationale behind thinking like that? And then we could have had a proper discourse, but she immediately cut him off and say, oh, this is how I feel. I feel this way. Right? This is how I feel. Thought you said it was a safe place. Being a safe space doesn't mean that I got to agree with everything that you say. Being a safe space means that I'm not going to abuse you for during the disagreement. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not gonna, but it doesn't mean that I have to agree with you. I was in a situation where we was talking and we're having a conversation, and it was funny, right? It was having a conversation, right? And y'all, so I'm probably gonna lose some people on this, but it's all good. But I'm gonna tell you the situation because it really happened. I was in Clubhouse, right? And I was having a conversation in Clubhouse, and we were talking. We weren't even talking. We were talking about music or something like that. It was something wild. Well, this dude came in who was he was born male but identified as female, right? He was born male, identified as female. Now I got in trouble for my he she joke. I thought it was great. I thought it was a funny joke because I was like, yo, he she, because I was like, I got in trouble for that. They said I wasn't being empathetic. I wasn't being sympathetic, or I was being it was offensive. So I'm not gonna tell the he she joke. But he was born male but identifies as female, right? Now, no problem. I had no issue with it. But in his picture, he looked like a woman. But it's Clubhouse. And this is the old Clubhouse. This ain't the new Clubhouse where they got the new fans and stuff like that. This is the old Clubhouse. And it's Clubhouse. So I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't looking at the screen. So when he talked, he had a deeper voice than me. Right? So we're in Clubhouse, and I was like, and he said something towards me, and I was like, I said, yes, sir. Like, that's a Southern thing. That's what we do in Southern. We say, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Right? I say, yes, sir. And one of the girls was like, he's not a sir. I was like, huh? He's like, sir. I'm not looking at the screen. I'm not what it is. I'm like, yeah, yes, sir. And he's like, sir. So he goes, deep voice of mine. Deep voice of mine. So so we continued on, and the conversation did come up with about LGBTQIA. You know what I'm saying? It came up, and I just told him, hey man, I'm more conservative. I'm conservative in my thought. I'm more traditional in thought of. I believe in traditional man and woman marriage. That's what I believe in. I grew up in the church. Mother and father pastor. That's just my belief, right? No problem. Love who you love. Do what you do. Whatever. Right? If you ask me scripture, we might have a different conversation. Right? So I said something, and he was like, oh, and like he came for me, and I was like, sir. And it's like, oh, it's the same place. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What? And he was like, I forgot it is. Are you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. He don't understand. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? What if I do? Like, and this is before the whole pronoun, the pronoun thing just started, right? It had just started at the time, Clubhouse. It wasn't as like, I'm from this, So I was like, listen, sir, I didn't mean anything. Did it again, make it the same place for him. You gotta make it the same. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? He like, hey, yo, don't worry about it. I gotta. And I'm like, listen, all right. So they start attacking me, and honestly, to my heart, I was not meaning anything negative, right? So I got up, picked up my phone, because I had was on my iPad. I picked up my iPad, and I said, well, let me see who this guy is. Let me see who this person is. So you guys did it again. Let me see who this person is. This talking his noise to me. And I looked, and then I see it. I'm like, oh, okay. He's, yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a he, because, he's born a he, not she's a she. He's a he, she. He, she. He, she. He, she. He was he, she. Right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, whatever. I said, oh. But by that time, they had already attacked me, said I was a bigot. I hated LGBTQIA. I was being mean to them. And it became a unsafe place for me. And they had no understanding that I didn't even see the guy picture. I didn't know who I was talking to. And this is a true story. This is happening in Clubhouse. So when I see his picture, I ask a question. I say, yo. I said, okay. I see that you're this is no lie. I said, oh, I see that you're transgender. They kicked me out the room. They kicked me out of the room. They kicked me out. They're like, oh, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be funny, you out of here. And I'm like, I didn't even know, you know what I'm saying? Because every time you talk, it's what's deep in the mind. Deep in the mind. And they were so trying to make it a safe place for him. They had no wherewithal or no intuition or no thoughts. Maybe he's not looking at his phone. They just initially thought I was being mean, nasty, or whatever, but they had no wherewithal or no. Because I was gonna tell him, man, I didn't have my phone up. I didn't have my iPad. See, I messed up again. I said, man, Lord, I can't get this right. I can't. I remember the name. So I don't remember their name. There it is. There. So I was just like, yo, this is boy, I'm so gonna get canceled. They're gonna cancel me before I even get started. I ain't even got started, they're gonna cancel me. They were like, we're gonna cancel him before he even get started. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna let him get popular. We gotta cancel him right now. But how can you so many people are trying to make things safe place, and they end up making it dangerous for everyone else. Some people who just don't know. Son, we haven't walked a mile in other people's shoes. Like, y'all don't call that man. Y'all don't say that man is. Y'all don't say that man was ignorant. He was a smart. He was uneducated. He's all that. Y'all make sure y'all follow. Make sure y'all hit that follow button. Subscribe. Y'all don't say he uneducated. Y'all don't say all the above. He a sellout. Y'all don't put the but what's the was it Django? What's the black guy named in Django? The butler. Samuel L. Jackson plays in Django. Y'all don't put the Samuel L. Jackson. Y'all don't call the man. Y'all don't put the Samuel L. Jackson thing on Shannon Sharpe. Y'all did all that. And y'all like, have y'all ever like had a conversation and ask him why he thinks like he thinks? Have you ever live where you ain't have running water? And you went out and picked cotton and they gave you cents on the day for 8 hours work? Matter of fact, have you ever had your parents or grandparents or great grandparents tell you that story? See, my parents told me that story where they said, King, we used to go out and pick cotton because you couldn't miss a certain amount of days. So they would go out and pick cotton a certain amount of days and then school start. They would go to school for the rest of the day. So they would go to the point where they couldn't miss any day. So they couldn't get sick during the year or anything because they had to pick cotton a certain amount of days till they get there a certain number of days. See, I grew up. Y'all, I tell y'all a little bit something about me. I tell people, say I got the best of both worlds. I got the hood street mentality, and I got the church. Right. My one grandfather was a pastor. My other one, my grandmother sold moonshine. You know what I'm saying? So I get both of both words. That's why I guess I shoot so down the middle because I got the educated family that went to school, and then the family that started off slow, but they ended up getting educated too. But the family that started slow where my grandfather and grandfather they sold moonshine. In one instance, I had my grandfather my mother used to tell me about how they used to go to church, and my grandfather owned the store, and that's how he met his wife. And in the other instance, my dad used to tell me how he used to have to go on and Watley Jordan and bury the moonshine, and he couldn't forget where he buried the liquor. I got both. Right? My mother's side, she had a mother and a father. My dad grew up in a single mother home with eight siblings. And I would hear stories from both and hear the contrast of the stories and see, let me tell you something, this is something crazy. And I'm leaving off this. And see the contrast in how my mother acted in certain situations and how my father acted in certain situations and how they had to come together as a unit and make it 40 years to death do they part. Now, I grew up in a single two-parent home. My wife grew up in a two-parent home. Her parents divorced. I married my mother. I didn't have any kids. My wife had was a single mother, and I see conflict, right? But we have to work it together in order to make it where we can be. Only way that works is if we're able to stop and say, okay, wait, let me see where you're coming from. But we just like, oh, it's me. I got this trauma, blah, 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 blah. I ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. And I become your enemy because I have a different perspective. How can we eventually grow? How can we grow? Hey, Twitter, thank y'all so much, man. YouTube, thank y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Hey, Facebook, hey, we enjoy you guys. Thank you guys. Facebook, thank you everyone for watching, man. I appreciate you guys. All 3 platforms, y'all been coming through. Y'all been listening. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you leave a comment. Leave a like. If you like the content, didn't like it, tell me what you didn't like, what you didn't care for. If I'm ignorant, if you feel like I'm bigger or whatever, leave it down there. Well, I'm learning. Listen, man. Grown folks going. This is another thing I gotta tell y'all. Y'all be getting mad at folks doing stuff. This is what my deacon told me. He said, "King, grown folks gonna do what grown folks want to do." You know what I'm saying? all you can do is try to tell them the truth and try to talk sense into them. But at the end of the day, grown folks gonna do what grown folks want to do. My job is to try to love you through it. You know, my job is to try to love you through it, try to get you there. And listen, man, I hope you guys, and try to give you something encouragement, something to laugh at, something to have a discussion about, something you can just really go through and look at, and give you a different perspective, something you might have not have thought of. All right? That's what we doing. That's what we doing. So y'all let me know, what did y'all think? Was Shannon right? Was Miss Seals right? Was I off base? Was I off kilter? Let me know. I'm going to read all the comments. Negative, positive, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to read them all. That's one thing I do. I read the comments. I can say, oh, he's just a flat, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to read it. You know what I'm saying? Let's all love from here. Listen, I hope you guys have a great, great remainder of your day. Listen, go for your goals. Turn the music down a little bit. Go for your goals. You know what's funny? We do that all the time, especially us that run our own production and everything. Everybody say we be talking like we got a whole team, it just be us. Turn the music down a little bit. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. But listen. Go for your goals. Be positive. Go for your goals. Not everybody's gonna support you. Family, friends. A lot of times, family is the first one that don't support. You can post something and family be like, they don't like or nothing. Then they should put somebody, you say the same thing, somebody else put the same thing, they'll post it and like it and share it, like, oh, y'all gotta hear this is life changing. I said that. But still go for your goals. Don't let it stop you. Go for your goals. Be great. Be great. Don't let anything stop you. Love on each other. Love on each other. Do something today to strive for your goals. Strive to be great. Because you know what? Success looks amazing. All right? Much love from your boy, King Joe. Thank y'all for spending some time with me. Well, y'all know I ain't going to let y'all know when I come in. When I pop on, y'all better see you when it come on. I'm going to give you a little thing and I'm popping on. Because I want to, everybody be like, well, we're going to come on every day. Nah. I like my interior to be fresh. Who y'all got the draft tonight? My Cowboys, you got to get a good draft tonight, baby. I need a tackle. I need a center. And over the next weekend, I need a tackle, the center, a running back, a linebacker. We need some linebackers. Maybe a safety and a quarterback. Just a developmental quarterback. Just keep, I know who we got. Just keep the other two, keep chancing that, keep them on their toe. Look for another quarterback. Listen, man, I hope you guys go watch the draft tonight. We'll be back. Look for the King Bo Sports Show. It'll be Sunday nights. We're moving to a new night, Sunday nights at 6:30. Sunday nights at 6:30 or 7. Sunday nights at 7. Sunday nights at 7, the King Bo Show. You'll hear some promos. I put some promos up on X and on the platforms and everything. Y'all look out for that. Also, look out for my new shoe. That's right. We got new shoes coming. You can go to DeJour /Alive Shoes /DeJour to get the new King Joe shoe that's out. Man, y'all go get those shoes, man. Y'all, thank y'all for your support. We thank everyone. We thank out for the AI company that reached out to us. We're gonna be making the video and review of that really soon. Thank you guys for partnering with us, man. Listen, we love you guys. We keep you guys up. Y'all, thank y'all for spending time. King Joe called it morning. We say morning cup, but this is afternoon. This is a cup of Joe. Y'all know what it is. King Joe, y'all be good. Bless.
Give it and shall be given. That's how it's supposed to be.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it on for a little while so you guys can
Jehovah, baby.
We're gonna have a conversation behind. If you guys want to have a conversation, I'm gonna stay on for a little while just so you guys can holler at everybody. Thank everybody for coming on. I'm gonna stay on for a little while. So if you guys want to come on, listen to some music. Oh, got some new music dropping too. Make sure y'all check out some new tracks we got going on. You know, if you need some production, music production, or video editing or video production, holler at me, man. I'm doing a source. I'm doing some teaching, and I'm doing a promo where we're teaching you how to learn services, how to put the graphic design and everything up. So make sure you guys do that. But once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me again. And I'm going to stay on. If you got some comments or you want to talk, I'm going to stay on a little bit so you guys can talk. We can talk in the background, all right? All right, appreciate it. Peace.
It's bringing me joy. It's no blessing, I just saving me. Oh, it's bringing me joy.
It's groovy, baby. We're rolling down the Golden Coast in the land of sun where the vibes boast. From the Bay to LA, every street, every turn we play. Cruising in the city of stars, where our dreams are made of. In the glow of the sunset we blaze, as our memory of our life cascade. With the gospel in our souls, and the love of Jesus Christ in our hearts. On the coastal roads we expose our lives as a work of art. Hey, see the waves crash here, they say you go song. In the West Coast paradise, we can't go wrong. With the palm trees in the clear blue sky, our spirits ride the breeze, man, we flying high, yes, we flying high.
Give you white.